Hello and welcome everybody! This is your host, Learbach, and you're just in time for a quick look at Yooka-Laylee. So yeah, this is a game that's been getting a lot of controversy recently, and a lot of people have been kind of complaining about this game, and I feel like the only person on the internet that seems to be defending it is the completionist. Which, if you've seen his video on Yooka-Laylee, I hope this is a little bit different. I don't really remember everything he said, but yeah. So for those that don't know what Yooka-Laylee is, this is a spiritual successor to the Banjo-Kazooie franchise. Which, if you don't know what Banjo-Kazooie is, think Mario, but better. Actually, I should probably say Mario 64, but better. I know that's a lot of... Sorry for the noise that you just heard there, but I know it's a lot of controversy there because people say Mario 64 is untouchable, but you try going back and playing a Nintendo 64 game in today's day. But yeah, so... For those that need an even better explanation... The type of game that this is typically a 3D platformer. That's what they've been coded as, because you're jumping around on platforms, collecting items. Usually you have like a small item such as like coins in Mario or music notes in Banjo-Kazooie. Or in this case, little golden quills. And then you have a big item to pick up, which would be stars in Mario. Jiggies or puzzle pieces if you don't know what a jiggy is in Banjo-Kazooie, and pages or these little pages in Yooka-Laylee. So yeah. The reason this game's gotten a lot of controversy is, honestly, I'm not entirely sure why. I know part of the reason, because this is a Kickstarter game by a lot of ex-Rare employees. The same people who made Banjo-Kazooie. And they promised, essentially, a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, in which case it would be Yooka-Laylee. And right away you can basically tell from just the sound and just the general design of the two characters here, Yooka, the chameleon, and Laylee, the bat. This is basically Banjo and Kazooie. Even, like, the dialogue in the game... is basically the same. Excuse me, I almost did a pull a Freudian slip there. Yooka is basically Banjo being this kind of generic hero type character that you, the player, are supposed to identify with. Laylee is basically Kazooie, who's like, you know, in it primarily for the glory, the gold, and just the snark. Gonna destroy that. Right here we have an example of the enemies. Those eyeballs can kind of take over and control certain enemies or certain objects, and yeah, I hate those enemies so much. But yeah, and right there's the main bad guy popping up just like in Banjo-Kazooie. Only this is capital B and not Grintilda. Capital B is not as good as Grintilda. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this right now. This is not a replacement for Banjo-Kazooie. Unless you have major issues with the controls of Banjo-Kazooie, which, considering I only have access to the Nintendo 64 version, I kind of do. Also, this is pretty late into the game I'm playing. Actually, no, I'm going to... I was going to go back, but I'm pretty late. Yeah, I'm pretty late in the game, so there's going to be some mild spoilers here. For later levels of the game, or later level. This is weird. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to be trying to defend this game a little bit more than most other people because I like this game. Faults and all, I like the game, and a lot of people sit there. Like a lot of the complaints come from the fact that this is. Basically feels like it was made. It should have been made 10 years ago. The controls don't feel tight or stuff like that. I tend to disagree mostly. there are problems like the little flappy flight here, this little ability you get towards the end of the game. It's a little weird to control, like trying to turn around. It's a little weird to control. Aside from that, I can't really say much else I can complain about, except maybe, like, control-wise, not much else. You have your basic movement here, which I'm playing on a controller, so the left analog stick, right analog stick controls the camera. Then you have, like, ducking, which is L2, X, which is jump. I'm playing on a PS2 controller, so apply this to the appropriate buttons for an Xbox controller. Square attacks. Circle does this little thing with Yuka's tongue, which allows him to collect, butterflies, which restores his health. Butterflies are a little weird to explain. Butterflies actually do two things. You may have noticed running into them, I collected it to restore my energy earlier, and then if you lose health, you can also hit circle to pick it up and it recovers your health. Personally, if I'd created the game, I would have flipped that, because especially for a certain boss fight I fought in which one was it? The third world's boss fight. I had some major issues with that boss, and it came down to the fact of had I been able to just run into the health pickup instead of having to eat it with my tongue, it would have been a lot better. It would have made it a lot easier, a lot more manageable. But yeah. Honestly, that's more or less a nitpick, though. Loading screens, I'm not too keen on loading screens, but I think that's safe to say about any game, really. I do love the little dialogue they have during this. One of the things they actually say, I'm not sure if it popped up or not, but it might. It said if this game was on a cartridge, the loading screen would have been done by now. There we go. If cartridges are still popular, this game would have loaded by now. I'm so glad that popped up. I was able to actually show that up. So yeah. So like I said, this is the last level in the game before the final boss and everything. I'm showing this off because I've gotten most everything else in the other levels, aside from I think like a few pages, which I mentioned earlier are the core collectibles. They're the things you need to progress in the game. I think technically speaking, you only need 5 pages. Oh no! Hold on, no, I'm wrong. What's the bare minimum to get into the last world? I think you need like 10 or 11. It's not a whole lot of page. Oh no, you need more than that. Because pages and quills in this game act a little differently than the other collectathons. Where they kind of end up being like a form of currency. So instead of like instead of the requirements raising, it's like, hey, we need this amount. We need for the first world, you need 3 pages to open it. Then for the next world, you need 6 pages. But you need 6 more pages, not 6 pages in total. If that makes any sense. But yeah. So, and the same thing with quills. Though quills have a use of being oh, I forgot these things spawn. Pages are used to open worlds. Quills are used to buy abilities from Trouser. I've already bought all the abilities in the game, so I don't really need any more quills. But they're fun to collect anyway, albeit if somewhat misplaced. Yeah, one of the major complaints about this game is that the quills are kind of just scattered about almost on a seemingly random basis, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of true. I noticed it really hard in this level because which one? I think it was over on that island. There, that island right there in the distance. There were like a handful of quills all on top of the rocks. Kind of just seemed like they were placed there just for the sake of being there. Which I'm sure a lot of people would say, isn't that the whole point of little collectibles like that? Like, no! Whoops. I did not mean to push that. No, the big thing with the collectibles, like the little collectibles, is that they're kind of supposed to be used as guidelines. I think that's where they kind of screwed up on that a little bit. It's like it's supposed to be like you go into you have like a split path. You have like a split path. You have 3 directions to go. You should have the little coins, notes, rings, whatever you're going to use as your smaller collectibles. As kind of like a guide in those directions, telling you, hey, there are things to do there. You don't want them out in the middle of a spot like, say, here, for example. Though, this is probably one of the less egregious, if I'm using that term correctly. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong button there. That's probably one of the less egregious areas to put them. Like, up here is fine. Like, putting them like in little bunches up here like that is fine. You know, of course, people are going to want to go into the crow's nest of a ship. But you don't want them out like on the middle. You don't want them. Okay. Yeah, like up here. That's that up here is a little again. As far as a pirate ship, it's not that bad, and this is so hard to control, this flappy flight. That's actually what it's called, by the way. Okay, now I'm gonna try... Oh, that's not gonna work. Banjo-Kazooie's flight, this is not. I have no clue why they gimped this so much. Okay, so we're gonna screw that quill for now. Probably come back to it later. But yeah, so keep getting off subject here. But yeah, having the little quills direct you to where you want to go. Like one thing I use the notes in Banjo-Kazooie for is they tell me where I haven't been yet. If I haven't collected the notes yet, I haven't been there. This game. Yeah, that's still kind of true. I mean, you can see some quills over there in the distance. Wow, that's... okay. Yeah, you can see some quills right there in the distance, and I keep... No, it's funny. It's funny. I'm going to go off a little channel here. Another complaint I've heard about was the camera. And I didn't have a problem with the camera until I started recording this. It's little minor things too, like trying to do the flappy flight. Maybe notice the camera going a little jittery on me up there, and then like trying to look around in first person view, which I can't do right now. There we go. Like going into first person view like this to look around. I think. Let me. Yeah. Okay. So it's whatever direction Yooka is looking in. I think that's what messed me up. No? Oh, wrong button. No? Huh. Okay. So right here we got an example here. So I'm gonna stop talking about the quills. I think I've already mentioned my complaints about that. Like I said, the camera is mostly good. It's a few little problems here and there. A lot of people complain about the camera. Honestly, it's not as bad as it seems. It's a lot. Well, to be fair, it's a lot better than Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, but that's also because Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie's camera were dictated by 4 button presses, and let's face it, the N64 is not exactly the best system to be using a camera for. Okay, so let's talk to this guy before we go any further. I did not realize he was here. So, this guy here is going to tell us something about this minigame, I'm certain. Greetings. Welcome to the Galactic Strength Test, the ultimate test for wannabe recruits. Recruits? So, yeah, you hear the little, I guess you could call it Animal Lee speak they have, that Banjo-Kazooie made popular. This is another complaint I heard. People don't like the complaints. But you look the right shade of green. I like that. Give it a go, especially if there are golden artifacts involved. Yep, that's right, attitude recruits. A lot of people have been complaining about the noises that the characters make being too annoying or something. Like, I'm sitting like wondering how, like, it's not that bad. I might see maybe a handful of characters having obnoxious noises, but honestly, I can't honestly think of. Okay, so I gotta get higher than that. I can't. It's not that annoying. I'm looking at this like it's no more annoying than it was in Banjo-Kazooie. And if you didn't like it in Banjo-Kazooie, you're not gonna like it here. I hear they're supposed to be getting a patch ready to fix that. Let's see if I can trick this out here. Come on. Is there any other spot I can? Nope. Okay. Oh, I wonder. There we go. And did not work. Okay. So, is this what I think I know what to do now. Okay, so right there I just ate using an ability as a cannonball, which cannonballs are one of the, I think like 4 or 5 different, no, excuse me, 3 or 4 different items you get in the game that, there we go. Right there. Good blazing Blamphibian. How did you hit that hard? Great, Zaphod Beeblebrox. Man. It means the Blamphibians will surely tremble at the sight of our new green and purple war machine. Take your golden artifact and head straight to war, recruits. Great, Zaphod Beeblebrox, man. Props to those of you who get the reference. If you don't, the answer is 42. If you still don't get the reference, seriously. Well, to be fair, I'm probably like one of the 5 people in the world that actually get that reference still. I don't know how many sci-fi people have actually watched, heard, or listened to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If you haven't, you can find the radio plays, the 70s radio plays on YouTube very easily. I've been listening to that through work all this week. It's 12 episodes, 30 minutes each. Very funny stuff. If you're into like dry, smart, witty humor of British comedy. But yeah. Anyway, kind of seems a little auspicious. I don't know. I'm trying to use big words here. I don't know. Anyway, here we have an example of a transformation. Every level has a thing called a Molly-Cool. Give him to Dr. Puss over there, P-U-Z-Z. Octopus, if you couldn't tell from her portrait. She's a bit of an octopus. A mistake with her DNA ray, which we actually are using to transform into these, turned her into a half-human, half-octopus abomination of nature that... But she still wants to help us out because her rival, Dr. Quack, who's one of the bad guys, it's a duck in a gumball machine. Duck's head in a gumball machine. Yeah, don't ask, it's Yooka-Laylee. One thing Yooka-Laylee nails down is the humor and the absurdity of Banjo-Kazooie. I've already talked to this. Yeah, I think I've already talked to this guy. I wanted to get over here. That's what I wanted to do. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of there's a lot of complaints about this game, and a lot of them I can see. One of the complaints is how big the worlds are, and this is probably one of the worst examples because this level is big, like in the same sense that Wind Waker is a big open world as well. You got mostly empty space surrounded by the water. Actually, no, I forgot I can do this. You can cancel out of the transformation. Unlike Banjo-Kazooie, you can cancel out of the transformation by holding down R2. It just kind of forces you out of the transformation. I don't think they tell you that in this game. I don't remember them saying anything about that. I just kind of found out by mistake. But yeah, so I've been talking a lot bad about this game. A lot of people, I've been talking a lot bad about this game, but honestly, I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is. Certainly not. Especially talking about the game world. Oh, that killed me in one hit. Okay, that's good to know. Okay. But the game worlds aren't that big. Like, people sit there and talk about how big the game worlds are. Like, these are not big. Will this work? It worked. No, it didn't! Oh. I'm saved? Dot, dot, dot. It's gonna be that one level of Banjo-Kazooie all over again. If anyone looks back at my old videos, you know, God help you. God help you if you look back at some of my older stuff. But in this case, actually, this almost looks. This isn't as bad as that one area of Rusty Bucket Bay. So right there, you see with the butterfly, they recovered my energy just by running into them. They're actually necessary to get through some of the puzzles. Yeah. I said I hate the eyeball enemies. It's not so much that you have to hit them twice, or essentially 3 times. You gotta hit the object twice and hit the eyes twice. The big thing is right there, you notice I hit him, but he didn't take damage because he was in the middle of a spin attack. It's one of those weird things with me, I don't like that. That guy right there with the hat, those are corporate higher-ups. Because this whole game has a down with the establishment feeling, which, given the history of the people working on this, they're all ex-Rare employees. I certainly don't blame them for feeling that way, especially considering, you know, how Microsoft treated them after Rare's buyout. Like, okay, you guys saw that vanish too, right? But yeah. So there are definitely some bad. There's definitely some bad to this game. There's certain things like checkpoints could be very useful here. Checkpoints somewhere in the. Oh, got that just in time. Checkpoints would be very useful in this game. Like, if I die, I just start back here instead of having to do the entire thing all over again. Enemy respawns could be fixed a lot, especially with the eye enemies. I love the concept of the eye enemies, though. As much as I don't like fighting them, I do love their concept of these enemies that can like just possess other inanimate objects. And wow, okay. I'm not sure if that was my fault or if I just. I'm doing a bad job showing off the good in this game, aren't I? We're doing the same area. This is the 3rd time we're doing this area, and I'm probably not doing it good. I'm probably not making a good case for this, am I? Okay, that was my fault. I was a dummy. You know what? Turn around. We're gonna try something else. That's a good thing about this game, because like you don't need every single page to beat the game. Let's see. I think let me see how many pages. I have 24 right now. It doesn't seem like a lot, but if I view my totals, I have 99 out of 145. So you can probably do the simple math there. I needed about 50-ish, 75-ish to unlock all the worlds and expand them. Cause that's something else you can do in this game too. You get, because there's only 5 worlds, one of the things they try to do is they try to do this kind of interesting concept that I think they could have worked a little bit better on, which was they have these worlds, but then you can also, if you choose to, you can decide to make them bigger, so you can explore more of the world. This is the expanded version. Unexpanded, you basically just get the island that I'm standing on, that island in the corner, and I think that's about it. So you get a lot more when you expand this world. Some worlds you don't get a whole lot, like the second world, Glitter Glaze Glacier, I think it's called. You don't get much of anything. You get like a castle, and that's it. Which, to be fair, is the castle's pretty big, but it's also a little kind of disappointing that that's all you get for unlocking it. So there's 2 more things I want to show off before I end this. One of them is Rextro here. Old school pixelated, or not pixelated, old school polygonal mascot. Stop trying to learn modern game rules. Rex still learn it to be okay to be old-fashioned, even if Bat makes fun. Rex still believe in himself. Alright, Blockhead, all computer characters like you can't be self-aware. I beg to differ. Have you seen some of the AI in Doom? The old Doom, not the new Doom. I mean, those guys attacked each other for shooting each other. Okay, so bad example. It's a bit about the arcade tokens. Okay, you have World's Playtonic. Okay. So in order to play his games, you need to find the play coin, which is usually nearby Rextro. Is it Rextro or is it X silent? I'm gonna assume it's not. I mean, this is rare. Well, I guess we call them Playtonic now. We can't call them rare. Got that pick up. This is the 3rd level I've seen him in. First of all, I haven't even done his there. I was trying to get it without going underwater. So yeah, there you can fart out a bubble to give yourself the ability to go in. Well, you can go in the water without farting the bubble, but that makes it so much easier. And before you sit there and say, ha ha ha, he just said fart. No, that's actually what they say in the game. They actually even remark, is there a better way to do this? To which Trouser says, no, there isn't. Speaking of Trouser, I want to talk about Trouser Snake for a bit. First of all, to mention a joke. When this game was announced about 2 years ago, someone made an animation, or at least that's how old the animation is, of Yooka-Laylee picking up a bunch of collectibles and Trouser trying to what the anyway, okay. Had a unknown number call me. I don't know what it was. Anyway, so the joke is the first part of the joke, which is recognizing his name is Trouser, but you're a snake. Yes, Trouser Snake. Yeah, and just to let you know, he does wear a pair of trousers. That's the kind of humor you get with this game, though. It's like, it's very similar to Banjo-Kazooie's humor, and I think they nailed it pretty well. They look Shovel Knights in this game. You see them in level 1, and you see them in this one, too. looks like that's the way to get some quills in the pages. So yeah, let's talk to him.
Yo ho ho!
Greetings, fellow knights. Thou arrived just in time. This guy gets about, doesn't he? I hope he's not expecting a share of our profits.
Oh.
My last quest for treasure, I've uncovered this mighty vault, containing vast fortune. One thing I want to mention too, a lot of people want to be able to skip the dialogue faster. For the most part, what you're seeing here is me pressing the A button twice, or the X button, excuse me. Pressing X to progress and X again to speed it up. Usually this is how fast it goes. For the most part, it's fine like this. But when they're doing like cutscenes or certain sections you can't skip through, which is really annoying. Again, they're gonna try to patch that. Okay, Gosfold is normally focused on chowing down. Oh, we gotta talk to the pigs to get the keys. Okay. Okay, so we gotta talk to the pigs to get their keys. That pigs that we saw earlier, the pig knights, are gotta help them out. I was not paying attention to anything he was saying. I'm sorry. I should be. But yeah. Other things I want to talk. Oh yeah, there's a joke in the game. When I first heard it, I just laughed my butt off so hard when I heard it. You buy an ability from I know I'm probably spoiling this, but there's other jokes you'll find funny, and I'm sure I'm like one of 5 people that found this joke funny. Actually, probably more if you actually keep up with gaming news, especially stuff regarding like, well, any AAA title really. You buy this move from which move was it? I think it might have been. Might have been this move, the Supersonic Blast. I can't remember what it's called. What it's actually called though. Let me see if I can. I'll make my way back to Trouser. He's actually really easy to find in this level. But I'll let the joke speak for itself when I get to him because I think you can see it again. But right here we have Vindy, who sells you tonics, also known as Playtonics. Get it? The name of the company. These you get by completing certain achievements, like beating the game, collecting I think 300 quills, collecting 10. Get that for now. Collecting 10 pages in Ivory Towers, which is the hub world. Just basically by doing a bunch of different things. Getting the high score in 3 Rextro's games, which is you'd think would be easy, but it's not because those games. So Rextro's games are probably the most divisive thing for me because 2 of them I played are very fun. The other 2 I played are not very fun. And so it's kind of like that. Like half his games are good, the other half are awful. And I really think they dropped the ball in Rextro's games. Here we go. Here's Trouser Snake. Space, nobody can hear you spin. Which one was it? Lizardly? Oh, no, it's not gonna. Okay, it's not gonna tell you. But the joke is, when you first buy the ability, he'll usually say he and the 2 heroes usually have a quick back and forth before he tells you how to use the ability. But what he says is this ability has been banned in 3 different game genres. To which Laylee quips, "Is it the quality control or no quality assurance ability?" I could not help but burst out laughing when I heard that because it is so true. It does feel like a lot of modern games like just have no quality assurance anymore, especially when you think about the first game that popped in my mind was Assassin's Creed Unity, naturally, because that's the big one. That's the poster child for like the bad game, right? For the bad, buggy, glitchy game, right? I don't know what it's like now, but when it first came out, it was like buggy as all hell and nothing worked right, and it's just so true. I couldn't help but laugh about it, and it made it even funnier because Trouser then replies, "Of course not," but then "course" is like corrupt, like misspelled in that way that's like corrupted, where they use like different symbols in the middle of the word. And I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Like, it was just. That's basically what a lot of the humor is, or it's supposed to be anyway. It's some like a lot of the humor is hit or miss because there's a lot of business humor that Capital B will say when you're in Ivory Towers, much like how Gruntilda makes little silly quips. Okay. Oh, there you go. And it's funny. Some of it's not, but that's kind of the nature of Banjo-Kazooie. Some of it was funny, some of it wasn't. Certainly Banjo-Kazooie had a lot more funnier moments, but also when you grow up and you realize how dirty some of the jokes are, like, oh, shoot. Jolly Roger's Bay had a joke that, what was it? There's something that Jolly Roger himself said, the titular character of that area in Banjo-Tooie said, that as an adult I looked at it like, there is no way that got past censorship from Nintendo of all people. I think it might, if you look back at my Let's Play, I might have mentioned it. I don't remember. Second mate Billy. Didn't recognize you before with this strange desert voice. You're a bit early, Billy. The captain's rub down ain't due for another hour. Until then, be gone with ye. Ah, crap. What was the name of what was the name of that one captain in Hitchhiker's Guide? The one that always bathed. Like I said, I've been watching that all week and I can't remember. Like, that's probably the biggest thing in Hitchhiker's Guide, trying to remember the names of things. Like, honestly, I'm surprised I remember Zaphod Beeblebrox. But then again, that's like, you know, one of the best characters in that movie. There we go. So you may have noticed we ate up one of those fireflies and gained the ability to glow in the dark. Here we got a flower which gives us the ability to breathe fire whenever we use our attack button. This is another big complaint I have about the game. Playtonic, if you're listening, this is something to take into consideration. I don't mind the this ability. It's not Slurp Shot is the ability to eat the berries. Slurp State is the one that lets you take on the abilities, like Glow here, for example. They're both contextual. It depends on the items that you eat. The Slurp State, I don't mind having it on a time limit. That makes an odd amount of sense, especially when you consider, you know, things have to pass through your system. But as far as like eating the berries and getting the ammunition, I think that needs to be on a limit of how much you get to use. Much like in the original Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, how you had the limited amount of eggs, it needs to be something like that. And eating more would get you more up to a certain point. And of course, if you could do some sort of like switching with it, which I'm not entirely sure what you would do. L1 doesn't seem to do anything. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so the D-pad does different taunts.
Whoa.
Actually, no. I think I did this. I think I saw this. I did it once at the beginning of the game. I completely forgot. That's cool. Yeah, you can probably replace that with like different ammo. I hate to say that because I just found it out. It's like, oh, that's kind of neat. It's like, but seriously, like you could have done that with different ammo. Like you could have like this water, grenade, fire, and then ice. Yeah, that would have been 4. That would have been perfect to switch between them. And then you eat the berries to get more. And then as for like getting the physical form, you could like it'd be the same for the physical form. Just have it like have the thing conveniently outside in the area, or maybe do like whatever you eat, you get like a certain amount of I was gonna say damage, but what you need for these abilities really is a timer on the screen, something that lets you indicate when it's about to go away, not when it is going away, but when it's about to. Something like some sort of like persistent noise, like a little tick-tock in the background, or some that's giving you a little warning when it's about to go away, so you know to get more if you need it or something. But instead you're told at literally the last minute. Yeah, Lunar Lockup in here, this little area in here, actually is a pretty good example for showing off the abilities. You got for a slurp state you have the cannonball, which gives you added weight. As you noticed, you could use that to solve some puzzles that lets you walk against wind. We got the honeycomb here, which gives you stickiness, allows you to walk up certain slopes that you can't normally walk or roll up. Incidentally, rolling up like this is also a way you climb up a lot of different slopes. Combining it with the honey move lets you walk into steeper slopes. Grenades here, which you can tell sort of slightly change the color of the red bits. That lets us fire out grenades. Fortunately, they don't hurt you, but you can use them to break down various structures. I saw earlier, there was like this structure that had like 4 cracked bricks, or 4 cracked blocks. You'd use the grenades to blow those up. This is ice right here. Fires a little ice. This is my favorite ability. Probably next to grenades. Just because it's a pretty good distance ability. Aiming isn't the easiest thing, but if you click the left analog stick, go into first person view, you notice you have the little reticle. Do here with the fire. Yeah. Just like Banjo-Kazooie. Right here we have a little fire coal. Lets us glow fire so we can walk in fire. I think supposedly the torches don't... Oh no, the torch... Okay, yeah, okay. Someone said that the torches still burn you. I don't remember who said that, but that was a lie. Wow, the only use of a battery in this game. Seriously, this is the only time I've seen a battery in this entire game. And the page in this level was so hard for me to find because you need to get the electricity set here and then use the ice ability to hit the switch. Obviously, you see it looks like an ice snowflake. And I had trouble finding the battery. I had to look up a guy and they said like use the battery in the room, and I'm like, what battery? What? So yeah, we got fire, let's do a little flamethrower effect. Water, which lets you do a little water effect, and we already showed off this. Gives you fire skin, this gives you glowy skin. This gives you electrical skin. So yeah, we kind of showed off all those abilities. Slurp state, slurp lick. Oh, that's a really cool effect right here. Oh. That's really cool. I do think, I think a better way to do the slurp state ability would probably to have like little pools of whatever element it is. Then have it like just be very prominent, a very prominent glow, so that you know that it'll only work here. Maybe like you get like a red pool of like special looking lava, and some of it looks like. And then you step in it, and that gives you the ability. Because like he's a chameleon, he'd blend in with his surroundings, right? Instead of eating it to blend in, he just actually step in and actually physically camouflage into it, so to speak. It wouldn't change it functionally, so again, it's like nitpick. But it would be a neat little way to do it. And if they do end up in Playtonic, if Playtonic does make a sequel, which I'm hoping they will, maybe they'll include that. Oops. Wrong ability. I wanted to show off this ability because, like a chameleon, you can turn invisible eventually. At least until you go to attack, which makes sense. Makes sense because every game does that. Honestly, I'm trying to think. There's a lot of nitpicks I can make about this game. There's a lot of nitpicks I have about the game, but that doesn't stop it from being an otherwise good game. Maybe not a great game, but a lot of this has just various nitpicks. And I can't really sit here and say this game is god awful like some people are saying. Certainly not as bad as Jim Sterling says. I haven't read his review, but I know he gave it a very low score, and I'm like, why? Like, I played the game myself, and I'm like, why did you give it such a low score? And yeah, if you fall from high enough, you will actually take damage. I was in water? Which is why I did. Oh yeah, the water damages you in this level. I forgot. So, oh. Okay. Oh, what? Oh, it's one of those, okay. So what you may notice here is I have this little barrier move that lets me walk through barriers. Certain barriers... Oh! Why do I keep doing that? I'm stuck. Okay. I am stuck. Because I can't do anything on the slopes. Okay. Here we go. I should have kept the other ability. What do I have one right now? What tonic do I have one right now? That is another thing that we need. Right there, I mentioned the molecule earlier. I just want to show that off. Those are all the things you can collect on the side here. You got the quills. The molecule, the play token, heart or health extender, energy extender. Every level has one, including the hub world. One health extender, one energy extender. Play tokens and the molecules are only found in the actual hub world. And, stop! Okay. There, okay. I keep hitting the wrong button because my... Really? Oh, I'm dead. No, I'm gonna survive this. Okay, so... Again, I keep showing all... I'm probably not making a good case for this, but this is a good game. This is a good game, I promise you. I'm having fun playing it. A lot of the mistakes are primarily from my mistakes, and a lot of the problems I have with it are primarily nitpicks. I do wish the comics were a little more traditional in terms of, like, actual cheat codes. Oh, that's the one I have, okay. Let me get that one then. A lot of the complaints are primarily just nitpicks. And yeah, there's a lot of nitpicks to have with this game, but it's still a fun game. Like, given the end of the day, I can power through a lot of the problems with this game. And it could be because I have such an affinity for Banjo-Kazooie and other 3D platformers. And I don't know, maybe when, you know, the next big one, you know, when A Hat in Time finally releases, hopefully, soon. So that's another platform I'm looking forward to. This is the one I was looking forward to for a while now. And, Hat in Time was out, I think, it's been in development even longer than this. And that's another game that's going to do the whole, the Annalise speak. I don't know what else to call it. Aside from maybe Ekum Ukum. Because that's just that prominent to me, that particular phrase. Where could go Uminaka? For those of you that haven't seen any of the Grant Kirkhope interviews, let's see, I think it's the one with Game Grumps. I think we can call it an interview. They played through a little bit of Banjo-Kazooie and talked to Grant Kirkhope in one episode. And he actually said Uminaka is kind of a slurred version of Uminakas, which is a kind of a British slang for ouch, my balls. Oh, this is a golf course. Okay, I've already done this one. There's a cage for or a cagey for the pages. There's a lot of kind of childish humor like that in here. I've been going on for almost an hour now. Just kind of. Again, this is a fun game. Anyone who's interested in the 3D platformer genre, you know, exploring, collecting stuff, open world, the open world concept, like this is a game that kind of is built off the original premise of open world. like Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, for example, were the original open world games. And Mario 64, and I mean, that's technically what they were. You were given these little micro worlds that you just kind of explored around and found stuff in. And this may not be the best version of it, but it's by far not the worst. I mean, good lord, it's like everyone's been treating it like. Again, I keep saying this because I feel like I have to, but everyone's been talking crap about this game. I'm surprised no one's compared it to Bubsy 3D, which. Sorry, the mere thought of that game existing kind of almost made me throw up inside. To confirm, to quote Archer, yes, the mind indeed can vomit. Thinking Bubsy as a character was kind of a bad idea. Anyway. I don't know what to... Please tell me you saw that big cell phone that Trouser had. Love that so much. Yeah. But yeah, so this is a great game. This is a fun game. It's really good. It is worth I think, what, $30? I think $39.99 or $49.99 if you want the soundtrack. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. Okay, where was I? Okay. Great game. $40 for the base game, $50 for the soundtrack. And the soundtrack is very much Banjo-Kazooie. If you like the Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack, it's very much reminiscent of that. A little more ambient. But I don't think it's... There's, I'm trying to remember, I think someone said the music was... There's like one person that said the music was not that great. Most everyone else seems to agree it's okay. It's they're going for a more ambient feel, and it's understandable that's what they're going for. And actually, I'm gonna do this. There's two ways to get back to the main hub world. You can do it from the pause menu, or you can go back to the book and enter. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. Not much else I can say about the game. I already kind of showed off a lot of the features, just in that one level too. There are some backtracking elements to the game where it's like you have to get abilities later on. In all honesty, it's not going to be that big of a problem unless you're a completionist. I can see it being a bit of a problem. The good thing is there are shortcuts. So you see this switch here. You hit this switch so you open up this gate, and it lets you into this area, which I was stuck trying to figure out how to get to the last level, to this last level over here for the longest time. And okay, so one thing I want to say: each world, you do need, in order to beat the game, you need to get a minimum of one pagey from each world so you can progress. So Trouser will move on to the next location in Hyrule Towers. They sort of mentioned that in the game. They said something about that. But it's at the beginning of the game and I kind of forgot, so it's kind of my fault that I didn't remember. One major complaint a lot of people have is sitting there saying, well, there's nothing. They put you in these situations where you don't know whether or not you can complete the area yet because they don't tell you whether or not you need an ability, which, to be fair, there's plenty of games that do that. It's funny. I'm gonna kind of take a bit of a quote from the completionist that I do remember from the completionist review of this game. There were some glitches early on, or some frame rate issues early on in the game, at least for the console version, where certain areas would lag like crazy. Now, Breath of the Wild came out shortly before this, and a lot of people just kind of passed by its frame rate issues, which I'm going to go and tell you this right now. I haven't beaten the game, and I'm still playing it, mind you. I've beaten the game, I've beaten the final boss, still playing that game, and I gotta say, with like, I think they're on update version 2.0 of the game right now, there's still some frame rate issues in Korok Forest, particularly when you're on the pedestal of the Master Sword. That game has some frame rate issues, and yeah, I agree with the completionist on this one. People complain about this game having frame rate issues, but they gave Breath of the Wild a pass on that. I'm gonna do the same thing for this. They don't tell you about everything in this game, and yet you get a pass for that in Breath of the Wild. They do the same thing in Breath of the Wild. They don't tell you anything. Heck, some of the shrine quests that you have to complete are so obtuse. I'm looking at 3 of them I have right now. I still have no clue how to do 2 of them. One of them I think I do, but I don't know how to get to it, even though it tells me where to go. And I went there, and I couldn't find the next guy I needed to talk to, and I'm not sure if I'm doing things the right way. Cause yeah, you get the idea. The game doesn't tell you anything. Hell, Breath of the Wild tells you about stuff after you find out about it. Like I didn't know about shield surfing for the longest time, and then I don't remember how I found out about it. But I think I just did it by mistake. I did it by mistake. And I'm like, oh, you can shield surf in this game, and it's like, oh yeah, you can shield surf in this game. This is how you do it. It's like, I wish you would have told me that sooner. I think the game just randomly decided to tell me about it. I was like climbing a mountain or something. It just said, "Oh, by the way, did you know you can shield surf?" But yeah, so at this point, I'm just kind of just messing around. And I kind of got myself stuck a little bit. Let me. So yeah, this is a fun game. Again, this is a very fun game. I'm playing this game for a long time. I keep feeling like I'm kind of one of those people with Stockholm syndrome who have to like justify the fact that I'm playing this game. Like I bought this game, I'm playing it, so I have to justify it's a good game. I'm telling you, it's a good game. Please, it's a good game, right? It's a good game. I'm just imagining myself in the corner right now, just trailing myself back and forth in a fetal position. It's a good game, right? It's a good game. I bet yet, because I'm quoting everything else, I'm referencing Hitchhiker's Guide, I'm referencing the completionist. I might as well go ahead and reference the critic. Not that critic, if you guys don't know the actual critic. Not the nostalgia critic, the show The Critic that came out in the 90s that did not get enough love in its time. Why he used to have a secretary. Oh no, not a secretary, an assistant. So why not? Okay, there we go. I gotta go back far enough. Okay. And that's the use of the chameleon's ability is to become invisible and pass through barriers. Or cameras, I guess you could say. Anyway, in the critic, Jay Sherman, the main character, aka the critic, is trying to get his soon-to-be girlfriend Alice a job as his consultant or something like that, and because his old one left under strange conditions. And then you pan to a cutaway joke of his old assistant in a mental ward in a fetal position. I can't do it anymore. There's only so many ways you can say stuff. No, that doesn't look like it's pain on your head. No, you don't look too fat. I went way too long to try to explain a bad joke. And this is why I kill comedy, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I kill comedy, but you know what? I'm gonna have fun doing it. So yeah, right now I'm just kind of going through and showing off the different book worlds. We just saw the casino one. I'm not going into the actual world because that'll take too long. Unfortunately, I'm already going close to an hour. I should probably go ahead and end this video off now, okay? So, yeah, great game. I really recommend you play it. If you're into the platform, if you're not into platformers, which I think is what most of these critics are, so I know, there was one thing, I think a co-optional podcast mentioned, they had this talk as, Jesse Cox, the Completionist, Dodger, and Total Biscuit, and I think maybe Alex the completionist friend. Alex Fasciano. All 5 of them, odd enough, in this podcast, are talking about Yooka-Laylee. And Gerard, aka the completionist, I might as well just start calling him by his actual name because I keep trying to call him the completionist. That's what everyone knows him as, but I'm at this point like, screw it, I might as well just call him Gerard because everyone else goes by their actual name. After all, completionist is a show, in all honesty. So it's like, but anyway, Gerard is like defending the game and talking about how he likes the game, and they kind of go back and forth, and they kind of come to the conclusion like, you know, he still likes the game, everyone else doesn't like the game, pretty much for the same reasons. And one of the points they bring up about it is how how maybe like platformers were always crap. And my first thought when I heard that, and I think it's Total Biscuit that said it, like maybe it's like because platformers have always been crap. My first thought was, you shut your whore mouth. I normally never say stuff like that. I said it out loud at work. And keep in mind, I work as a janitor at a high school, and I said it out loud almost uncontrollably. Thank God no one was there. Otherwise, I'd be out of a job right now. I stopped my as soon as I said it, I was like, oh crap! Did I actually say it out loud? Cause no. You could probably say if you made Banjo-Kazooie the way it was today, yeah, it would be a bad game because you're using old school game philosophy and old school limitations. But playing this now, like, haven't played this game since then. Like, yeah, no, platformers aren't crap. It's not a problem with the game. It's a problem with how you manage the collectibles and how you manage it. It's a problem with the game design philosophy of the person making the game. And you can make this game has the potential to be really good. And the biggest problem is, I think they rushed the game, which I think is what a lot of people said. To mention another YouTuber, Arlo, everyone's favorite YouTube Muppet. Or is that a racial? Is that racist? I hope it's not racist. Some of my best friends are Muppets. I know. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, look up Arlo. He's like one of my favorite YouTubers. Many people keep saying he's related to Cookie Monster. Honestly, I don't see it. Insert sarcastic tone here. There's a running joke of him being related to Cookie Monster because he basically what Arlo is he's a Muppet, which is basically a guy with a puppet, with a Muppet. Everyone knows what a Muppet is in general. So like that's basically what he is. He looks basically like a lot like the Cookie Monster, like same shade of blue, kind of same figure. And I don't think I've ever seen if there is a human underneath that puppet. Underneath that Muppet. Now I know that the P word is racist to them. If there's a guy under the Muppet, I've never seen him. But yeah, anyway, I've gone on way too long for this video. But he mentioned something about he mentioned his own problems with Yooka-Laylee as well. And a lot of the problems he has, oddly enough, I have the same issues with, but for different reasons. Like the camera he mentioned, the camera's a little too clingy. And he actually mentioned, like, if it was to me, I take the camera to a nice little spa, get a nice massage, and tell it just to relax. Just to relax, that camera needs to run wide. And I kind of agree with it on some points. My biggest complaint with the camera is it takes control away from you. Actually, I can actually show it it takes away control in the oddest positions. He mentioned how it would make Flappy Flight here, this ability, a million times easier to use. I don't think that it would. I'm pulling. Okay, so let me actually show it off here. I can actually show it off. Let me get into the next room here so I can show it off. I can actually show off exactly what's wrong with Flappy Flight here. And it's not the camera. A lot of people, like Arlo says, it's the camera. It is not the camera. The camera is not to blame here. For once, the camera is not to blame. Let me get right down here and pull it up. Okay, I'm going to be hitting to the left. Okay? Doesn't seem too bad. Now I'm going to go to the right. I'm pulling to the left as I'm saying left. Pulling to the right as I said right. Did you see how Laylee's moving? It's like a slow turn. It's really weird. Especially when you're considering it's supposed to be a spiritual successor of Banjo-Kazooie, and the flight controls in that game were damn near perfect, it felt like. And maybe they're emulating it, but they're not doing the camera right, or maybe it's the up and down flapping that messes it up. Because you may notice it kind of bounce in the air a little bit, as opposed to like Banjo-Kazooie, where it's just kind of like this kind of glide in the air. I'm going by memory with Banjo-Kazooie because it's been a long time since I played it, but I don't remember the fight being that bad. But there's one other thing I want to mention with the camera that's actually really screwed me up when I first entered. This is the first world, by the way, just to let you guys know. So, right up here, we have this little temple where Trouser sits. And when you get this little supersonic ability, you can activate certain platforms. So the camera, oh, right there, you see the camera just suddenly shifted? I have no clue why it shifted like that. But it screwed me up the first time I had that happen. There are so many little examples of that happening throughout the game. They fixed that? I think because we were going, yeah, because we're going between the platforms there. So here's my major thing for Playtonic to do with their updates. Right here, the camera should be going through the objects, not trying to go between them. That was something that was solved in Mario Sunshine, and I believe maybe earlier than that even. The camera should be going through the world. The camera should be intangible, and it should be able to go through objects. And the best way you can do that is like, well, you see, you try to go through this mountain here. Instead of like just turning the mountain completely invisible, it like turns it like a shape. Like you get like this kind of gray transparency over the camera, where the mountain would be. But only while the camera is in there, obviously. You know, once you leave out, it like changes accordingly. Or like with the tree, trying to go around the tree, it'll just like go around the tree and you'd see past the tree. The camera is like, it's like the distance between the camera and Yooka-Laylee. I'm just gonna start calling them Yuka as a shorthand. It's like the distance between them is connected. Like there's like a physical object between them and the camera, which I think causes a major problem. And one way you could do that is by doing like what they did in Mario Sunshine, where like they turn everything that's between the camera and the object in question into like a shadow, or at least turn Yooka-Laylee into a shadow. And I just said I was gonna start calling them shorthand Yuka. But like if they did that, it would fix a lot of the issues with the camera, and then like everything else could be like, you know, question mark, which is what they did in Mario Sunshine. Or, you know, they just didn't make the camera like, it's like if there's any cutaway from the protagonist and the camera, it's like it can't handle it, which is really weird. Because is this Unreal or is this Unity that's made in? I think it's Unreal? I think it's the Unreal Engine? I could be wrong. Maybe it's Unity. Either way, both these programs I think have fixes for that. Oh, yeah, I don't like you either, Signpost. That's gonna be really confusing to someone who's listening to this with their phone in their pocket. Anyway, this is a talking signpost. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's like there's so much they could have done. Like so many little things they could have done to fix the camera, but like for the most part, that's not a big problem I'm thinking of often. So I can't really call that a... It's a complaint. Oh, wrong. Oh, I'm trying to go back into the hub. It's a complaint nonetheless, and it's something that does need to be fixed, but it's not like, you know, a major complaint that's gonna, like, end the world if they don't fix it, you know? Fix the other problems first, and then fix the camera last. One thing I want to mention, too, and this is a bit of a nitpick myself, this is a bit of a nitpick, too. You may have noticed there's little pictures on the front of the books. You don't see those for the most part. Once you open the world, once you unlock the world, it opens up and you never get to see it unless it loads. I really wish that the books would stay closed. Like, maybe you could put, like, instead could have put, like, chains over the books. Or made it look like it was unfilled. So you'd have to press A to open it, and then you'd open it, and it would, like, warp you into the world. Like, the book would open, slam on you, and like, slam on you and then close, to get you into the world. It's a minor, like I said, it's a minor complaint. It's a very minor complaint. I say that because I really like the artwork of the world books, and it kind of feels like it's almost like wasted. It's almost wasted by not being able to see it all. But. But again, it's minor complaints, and the game is fine. A lot of people basically calling this game awful and saying the worst thing since Bubsy 3D, which may indeed be a bigger insult to games, at least, than comparing it to Hitler. I don't know why that was a bad joke right there. That really tells you that really tells you a lot about Bubsy 3D, though, doesn't it? Yeah, a broken game is a broken game. I mean, at least look on the bright side. At least this game wasn't made by Digital Homicide. Wow, are there any more insults I could throw at the game industry today? I'm trying to think of anything, but the only thing I think, oddly enough, the one thing I could think of that would be an insult is, yeah, I think I used up all my major insults. EA? That's another insult, I think. Actually, that's a insult to game companies in general, not really so much the game industry, but rather I was about to say Ubisoft, but Ubisoft honestly isn't that bad. I mean, once you mention EA, it's like everything else is like, oh, Digital Homicide still is worse than EA, because I mean, at least EA didn't try to sue a critic for calling their games crap. For those of you wondering what that is and you don't know who Jim Sterling is, look up Jim Sterling, particularly Jim Sterling versus Digital Homicide. You'll find like hundreds of, I'm certain millions of videos talking about it, talking about that controversy. Yeah. Let's put it this way, to sum it up, Digital Homicide is a group of two brothers who make pretty crap games using the Unity engine, because Unity is so easy to use. They buy assets and they do what people are calling the asset flip, where they buy the cheapest they buy cheap assets, make I hesitate to even call them games because they don't even work as games. They don't even work as proof of concepts. They don't even work as proof of concepts. They just match these assets together and then try to sell it off as a game. Super cheap, so they can make money off of the cards, and it's super sleazy. Also, Steam trading cards, mind you. It's just super sleazy to do, super bad. Not super illegal, but the thing that is borderline illegal, at least, or actually, no, it is illegal to do. Is they started accusing, or at least one of them did. I'm not sure what the whole story. I'm not entirely certain what the whole story. I'm not entirely certain what the whole story is, and I'm fairly certain most people involved, including the lawyers, don't know what the whole story is. But Digital Homicide tried to sue Jim Sterling because he kept making videos about their games and talking about how bad they are. You can again look up Jim Sterling Digital Homicide on YouTube. You'll find like a bunch of videos in that regard, mainly by Jim Sterling himself. And they tried to sue him because he had an opinion about their products, and it wasn't a nice opinion. Now, granted, here's the thing: they constantly censored opinions and reviews on Steam, and that's one of the things that kind of got this whole thing started. He started reporting on that, and that caused them to get angry because how dare you try to tell us not to censor people? Yeah, that sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? Tale as old as video games themselves. Well, at least the tale as old as modern video games, which is about 10 years, I guess. 10, 15 years, somewhere around there. Tale as old as Jack Thompson's dead career. Oh, yeah, so right here, you notice that we can climb up. Right here, this is an example of using the honey ability to climb up the sleek ramps. Yeah, I opened this up back here, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this off now before it gets to an hour and a half. It's already an hour 16. Can't believe I let myself talk this long. But yeah, so again, I can't recommend this game enough. If you like 3D platformers, buy this game. Support the 3D platforming genre. Despite what people say, it is not dead. It is not a dead genre. It's a barely living genre, and we need more indie. I want more indie games to do this. And I know it's expensive to do it, but I'm hoping with this, A Hat in Time, and because we need more high quality 3D platformer games. And I really want this to have a comeback. This was such a good genre back in the 90s. This is so much a part of my childhood. And playing it now today, like, I still want more of these games, because these are the games where you get the most diverse worlds. These are the games where you get the most bang for your buck, essentially, because you have like tons of collectibles. And if the game's done right, you end up with enough collectibles, and they have a use. You know, they're like the quills and the pages, the notes and the jiggies. I was gonna say coins and stars, but no, honestly, the coins don't really have much of a point in Mario games anymore. I mean, you could say, oh, that 100 of them get you a life, or 50 of them in the 3D games. But really, do you need that life? I mean, especially in Mario games where they give you 1-ups, like just for walking forward. Actually, in some cases, just for walking into a bush, into a bed of roses. I am not kidding. A bed of flowers, excuse me, not roses. But anyway, so yeah. With all that said, I think it's time we go ahead and end this off. Fun game. Very fun game. Recommend anyone to buy it. Anyone who's interested in 3D platformers to buy it. If you're not interested in 3D platformers, you're probably going to not have as good a time. But if you like exploring, if you like collecting things, it's a fun game to play. I'm not going to say it's the best in the genre, but it's definitely the best that's come out in the past 5 to 10 years. Granted, it's like the only game in this genre to have come out in like the past 5 to 10 years. At least 5. I can't think of 10. When did Psychonauts come out? I think that was more than 10 years ago. I'm honestly trying to think of other like, seriously, that kind of shows you right there, like, how little platformers we have. One thing I want to mention real quick, too. One thing that's really odd is you may notice there's no quit button here in the main menu. It's actually buried in the options and stuff. I don't know why they did this. Really weird. Okay. But yeah, so just want to point that out. I don't know a single game that's ever done this. Could be wrong. But yeah, that's just weird. But yeah, so with all that said, I guess I should go ahead and end the video off. Kind of don't. I haven't had a thing to talk about for the past 40 minutes. I haven't had anything to talk about the game for the past 40 minutes aside from just going on random diatribes and looping around. But the game's good. Play it, buy it. $40 for the audio and the game itself. $30 if you're not willing to spend it on that. Wait for it to go on sale if you have to. Get it for like, I'd say it's definitely at least worth $20 for most people. I bought it full price with the soundtrack. Don't have a single ounce of buyer's remorse on this yet. And Snake Pass. There's another game that came out that's I guess a platformer. Yeah, I'd say this is still better than that. That game breaks my brain though. That game broke my brain. At least for the first level, after I got the hang of playing as a snake. Though speaking of Snake Pass and snakes, I think this is probably a good example. If no one's played Snake Pass, it's a game where I'm fairly certain you play as Trouser Snake's cousin, because both those characters look very much identical. But anyway, so that all said, I keep pushing. Can we go for an hour and a half, ladies and gentlemen? Can we go for an hour and a half? Let's hope not, because I've already gone way too long on this. Okay, so, ending the video off. Buy the game. It's a good game. If you like platformers, this is definitely worth getting. A lot of the people making complaints about this game, saying there's a lot of problems with it. There aren't. A lot of these are nitpicks, and it's gonna be based on how much you can get past the nitpicks. If you've been paying attention to the gameplay on screen, you've seen a lot of the issues. If you can get past those issues, you have yourself a great game. I can get past about 90% of the issues, so if you're like me, well, you probably need to seek therapeutic help, but then again, that's not a rag on anyone who hasn't. That's not a rag on anyone in general. That's probably more or less a rag on myself because I am I'm not gonna get into it. No, got into the video. Okay, so we're gonna end the video now. Buy the game, and with all that said, I will see you guys later.